the fire. This may not run for very long. Reasonably certain this is kerosene and not fuel oil. Reasonably sure this is still any rate. Why is my piece of shit? Being creative, yeah. It's live. Why does the volume keep turning up on this thing? That's like not useful at all. Yeah, nothing to see over there. Right. So, that starts to come online before we get started running that. I am going to go here. Not enough. Alright, that's gotta be left.
little noisy. Put that away. Man, it's cold out. Jeez. I got some parts today. Nose paper. Hooray, it's wheel cylinders. Hippy skippy. Yep. It's a wheel cylinder, alright. Uh-huh. That's gonna be, maybe not next week, but maybe the week after. I gotta finish that stupid thing. And I gotta get some. That was a rear. Here's a front. Much bigger. Much bigger. So, yeah, I'm gonna get some fuses. Yeah. So, meantime, these can go over on the Jeep parts shelf. Wow, these gloves are really. You can tell that they're heavy duty. I may end up liking this. So, what am I going to do today? I was going to do a little bit of work on this thing. So, where's my hammer? Funk. Would like a better solution than that. There's no one here to share it with you. Well. I suppose. Well, maybe I'll just work on this. Work on this hose and ramble for a while. See if somebody shows up. And I'll get working because I got work to do. Think. Cut that open up. On. Got this extension cord that shit app. There we go. And, couldn't get it to work the other day. I think the thing's just corroded. Put some ends on it here real quick before I get into the interesting stuff. How much do I need here? Should do that from the camera. Whoa. Might want a smidgen more than that. That's fine. That'll work. Grab my wire stripper. Yeah, so I still have my socket there. So that's good. Depending on how many of these wheels I pull. I'll walk over here for a wire strip. That's right. Strip down wires. Oh. Pretty nice little tool. Green. Yeah, I can. It might not focus. No, yeah, whatever. Greenly, pretty nifty little. Mostly works. Sometimes you gotta encourage it along a little bit. That's fine. I might actually. Probably be enough. So that's like that. Silver. A little tricky to do. Holding it way out in front of me. Only two hands. That, I guess once I can have at least one wire under it, it won't be too bad. Line. And that's awkward to do upside down. It's the little retainer plate doesn't want to stay in place. Good enough. Oh, 7. Good evening, everyone. I guess we'll get started here shortly then. That was quick. How are we all this evening? Ta-da! Almost finished. Probably will work better than the old shitty corroded ones. Right, so actually some folks watching. Welcome. It occurred to me the other night. I actually talked to the owner last night and got approval for everything. So that's cool. Starting to get parts ordered and stuff. It occurred to me that since this thing was so far out of time, that although I suspect that it's okay, it might be not a bad idea to try to figure some way out to verify that. And I remembered I have a little USB borescope. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to see the chat while I'm running it, but feel free to talk amongst yourselves if you're feeling chatty. But, figured I'd bring it out here and just drop it down one of these plug holes here. See what I can see. And hopefully see a nice clean piston top with no scuff marks or impact marks or anything like that. So I'm going to plug this into my tablet now and lose chat. That's okay. I know you're still there. Yes, fine. And ta-da! So it's kind of blurry. Oh, I'm gonna have to stand up and there is, yeah, it's doesn't work super well for things that aren't real close, but is it gonna be okay? So that should be good, relatively speaking. I may have to like tape this to something rigid to actually get it into the go in. I swear I never had this problem. Yep, back in a jiff. I just have to find something rigid to attach that to, because that's never a problem. Laugh all you like. I can't see it. So, take our stainless steel wiper insert that didn't help clean the throttle body the other day. Some electrical tape. What, it got real cold today. Like late morning, it was still in the 30s. Just take that may actually be good enough. A borescope on a stick. So I think that should be in the frame. Yeah, that's actually not what I wanted to see. That is, I suspect, if I can drive over there a little bit. That looks like impact marks from the valves. There's two on that side. I think I should be pointed. I don't know if that's large debris or not. I should be pointed pretty much at the, well, that's going to come pretty high up on the cylinder. I don't actually know if I can, it's pulled out. Of course, I can't turn it around and actually see the valves themselves. That's not a great sign. But I think I should be facing the lower side of the cylinder. Could actually grab my breaker bar here. Okay, that's moving it towards. That's loosened the bolt up. Yep. Let's sneak that back up out of the hole a little bit. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of what I was afraid of. Let's see. See marks on the piston face. There, it's sliding away. And that's as far as I can get. Yeah. Hopefully it I'm gonna go ahead and take the rest of these plugs out now. That's not great. I wish I had thought about that the other night, but it only just occurred to me that, yeah, hey stupid, you have a borescope. Durr. So, grab my Sharpie. I apologize if anybody's saying anything, but I can't. I'm using the same device to run the borescope that I usually reach out on. Guess I could pull my phone out. That was shit. Yep. Trying to watch Demon Machine this morning and use chat on my phone, and just gigantic pile of fail. There we go. And an advertisement on my own stream, whatever. Okay, so I got chat up on my phone right now, so I'm going to mark these spark plugs. That's number one. And just pull everything out and have a look-see. Hopefully it's not so out of time that it bent anything. It does feel like it still has compression, but of course that may just be the valves beating against the pistons. So this will be number 3. But I don't see any chunks. Yep. Got some schmut on the camera. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I just have to. Thanks for mentioning that. I might have figured that out on my own at some point, but yeah, it's actually not a bad idea. I just have to hoist the motor back up in the air. So, yeah, that one got kissed too. Yeah. All right. Oh, the glove broke already. That's not good. These things are friggin' expensive. Alright. Okay, let's chain this back up and have a look. I wish I'd I thought of that the other day. Didn't. A little less chain on this when I put it together. Almost, well, it actually didn't clear coming out. It was hitting me. Hitting the radiator support. OSHA approved. Can't see the motor anymore. Pan that sucker up. Alright, let's see what we can see. Frickin' 3 tablets now. Holy crow. Howdy, demon. Howdy, demon people. So I'm gonna wait for the delay a second because I can't see the back of my camera. No, I won't put that up my nose. So is that in a spot? I don't know. Probably close enough. This is difficult. This will be a lot easier. Whoops, if I didn't... No. Power off, you piece of shit. This will be a lot easier if... make sure that's clean. Good carbon on it. This would be a lot easier if I had 3 hands. So... that's a valve alright. It's still there, so that's good. Doesn't look obviously bent from... well, it's probably out of the way. It doesn't look obviously bent from my perspective. Now, admittedly, it's not a great perspective. The edges that I can see look okay. Next one. And this one's a little tricky to. There's a lot of. I don't know if that's normal or not. I don't look at exhaust valves all the time. There is some carbon knocked off of the valve stems on those. Let's go over and look at the other side. Might actually be able to. It's sort of in frame. I don't want to exit. What do? You stop working. Crap. There we go. Yes. Pain. Oh, this is obnoxious. Alright. Yeah, I can actually. Cord. Yeah, maybe if I turn the LED off. There it is. I'm not even sure what the focal length on this is. Well, I don't. Admittedly, it's not the best view, but you know, what view upside something's rear end is ever going to be, you know, any decent? And, I don't see any chunks. I hope that's not a crack. You think so? Wonderful. That would be fantastic. Bent all the friggin' valves. Great. Just great. Well, that's fantastic. I'm going to switch back over to the tablet for the moment here. It's more convenient. And the rain started again. Lovely. There we go. Fantastic. I'm gonna step on the thing. Well, I haven't put anything together yet. Oh boy, that sucks. Now I'm thinking that I'm gonna turn this back. I'm gonna take the put these spark plugs in a box or something before I step on them, because I would do that. Or this handy McMaster car bag. I take the other two plugs out. That is a motor. Subaru EJ25. Take these other two plugs out so it definitely won't have compression. This is going to be a longer night than I thought. I'm just going to come up here, stick the borescope in it, and move on to something else, but no, of course not. That was number 4. My luck, some dimwit going. Got friggin' timing belt on wrong. Among other things. Jesus. Yeah, owner's coming over tomorrow, so I'll be able to talk to him one way or the other. Ooh. Throttle body that doesn't have RTV in it anymore. Matsuda. I will freely admit to not being familiar with that make. Yep. Yeah, that wasn't compression I was feeling. That's it hitting the valves probably. Shit. Damn it. All right. Fuck's sakes. Oh, Mazda. Okay. Fair enough. What's that? That's not right. Most of the Mazdas that I can get underneath these days have more parts on them marked Ford than they do Mazda. Yep. Boy, you don't let some fool put a timing belt on your motor for you. I may have to. Blow my labor estimate out of the water, but yeah, this is that's not gonna work well. Let's put this back down on the ground. And out of frame. I'm just taking this crank pulley off. It'll be back up in the air in a minute. I'm glad you like my hair like that. That's that. Been looking in the mirror every morning this week and saying, "Oh, I need to trim this shit back." See if I can pull up my Facebook without showing any personally identifiable information. Out. Basically, you grow it out like that for 10 years or so, and then you get tired of it, and you pull it back into a ponytail and you cut it off, and then you just sort of keep it long on the top and trim the back, and there you go. Stream freeze? Camera freeze? Camera's okay. Well, there it goes. Can't see what. tension on it. Ow. Ooh. Oh, was that, did that not come through, correctly? Yeah, you were asking about the hair, and I said, it's not resizing correctly now. God damn it. Yeah, I said, first you gotta grow it out for about 10 years. Not wanting to focus well at all. Yeah, down past my shoulders. Yeah, I got tired of that eventually, and just pulled it back, cut it off. I don't know if any of you were here in the other night when my friend was over helping me with stuff, but. When he was talking about the dead animal over in the corner, I had he thought that I still had my old hair, the last ponytail that I had, and which I don't actually. I did keep it for a little while. Yeah, I think it's starting to get definitely a little long on the back of my neck, but I usually just sort of trim this back up and a little bit of gel in the morning. Keep it otherwise it just sort of flies everywhere. Yeah, I don't think this is a new belt. I wonder if this motor was bad right from the junkyard. Alright. And we do this. Yeah. Try not to take oil baths. Yep. Can't see shit. You gonna focus? Maybe. Maybe not. Lovely. Where'd my camera on a stick go? That's battery pack. And piece of wire. I have to switch devices again. Done. I don't remember mine doing that. I had the battery off. Of course. I didn't friggin' blow mine up first either. This is turning into a fiasco. Huh. It's not wanting to sit at its timing mark. Puzzling. Ah, goody. Yeah, I definitely wanted to tear this apart farther. That bites. Switch devices again here. So then. By hand. Yep. Get to see how good Rock Auto's return policy is. I'll say this, I did manage to put a hole in this, but it's not spread any further. No, not completely sold on these yet. Oh, well, shit. All right. Where's my 10 millimeter? That's a 12. That's an 11. That's a 9. That's That's a 10. Scattering my tools all over again. Short turn. Yes. Try that first. Be careful with these. Last time I did this, I broke a corner of the rocker cover off. Of course, that was on a slightly different motor. I think it was a newer one. If I get too much farther into this, I may have to clear out my end. Well, if I go to pull the heads off of this, I'm definitely clearing out my engine stand. Mount this up on it. Grab an oil pan here. Just decides to make a mess. These are those are the Black Mamba ones that Ribbit Finder was. I think Ribbit Finder was talking about the other day. I figured, what the hell? I'll pick up a box. Tell you what, they are for whatever reason. If you're only buying one box, you can get it for like $10, but the shipping is outrageous. Unless you get it from Amazon, in which case the shipping's free, but it's like $20 for the box. I looked around a little bit more today. The ones that I usually get, where I usually get them are like for let me think. Like 6 something for a box of 100, and I'm seeing these for like 10 for a box of 100. But then everywhere seems to want really outrageous shipping for whatever reason. Looking around a little bit, and I found a place on eBay that has them for a case of 1,000, so 10 boxes, and for $100 and then $20 shipping. Oh, good, it's not going to leak too much. Should I still have that rocker cover? Of course, I did it on my sister's car. I had to buy a new rocker cover. I think I still have it over here somewhere. And we're going to need box leak here. Watch me not be able to find the right one. On short notice. Light bars. Spiders. Yeah, it's over there somewhere. There it is. Oh shit. Yeah, is that hers was an I want to say it was like an 05 or something. And they changed the rocker covers a little bit, so instead of it being, you're probably right about them being broken, instead of them being sort of inside of the casting, they're all in these sort of external
little bosses, and yeah, that one was got seized up on the bolt. Let me turn the light back on. It seized up on the bolt, and just I busted the ear off of it when I went to take that off. Really pretty, reasonably priced for a new casting. Yeah, okay. It's a hell of a mobility scooter, though. Is it also all-wheel drive? Well, I shouldn't be surprised by this. This whole thing has been a shit show. Oh, do I go ahead and pull the head off now? Not particularly sorry, Jordan. Like to stick to Subarus if at all possible, and Fords and government conglomerations and rebuild your nan. I think what did me in on this one, Rotax, what it's weird because I actually don't remember exactly what happened, but I got one of them part way out. I don't remember how that happened, but it's not the broken one. This I know. You know what happened on this one? This one, the head of the bolt snapped off, and I was trying to drill it, and I screwed something up drilling it. And I think if I just hosed it down, what I figured out was, I'm dripping oil everywhere. I think what I figured out was if I had, hosed it all down with PB Blaster or something and let it soak, and then just cut the heads off the bolts, I'd probably I don't have anything against VTEC, I just prefer working on Subarus because they're easier to get at stuff, in my opinion. But I own 2 of them, so I might as well be good at it. Better than the monkey that I'm working on this thing anyway. But, what was I saying? Yeah, I think if I just cut the bolt heads off and soaked it up with penetrating oil and just shimmied the valve cover loose, it would have come off okay. And then I would have just been out the bolts instead of having to buy a valve cover. Well, shit. It's a pain in the ass thing is, I've got the engine stand all buried back there, and I might be able to break those free with it sitting in the tire. Yeah, corrosion is the main issue, Rotax. That's why almost everything I put together, I put a little bit of grease on the bolts, especially especially a shoulder bolt like this. Yeah, and these are the timing belt cover, but the principle is the same. You have a nice smooth shoulder like that on a steel bolt in an aluminum valve cover. I can see no way that would be a problem, right?
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Alright. This thing's probably toast anyway, might as well crack the head off and see how bad it is. Decide if I'm going to try and get back here to the engine stand or not. Omega Dan. Oh boy, we are, this thing is a real shit show. Reasonably certain now that, that's got some play. It's not, it's at a weird spot where it's not hitting anything right there. The exhausts are loose. The intakes are a little loose. Yeah, that's right about where the timing mark ought to be, and it's freewheeling there quite a bit. So after we go way back, and the first thing we found were these alignment pins. Is that visible? Maybe. I don't know. First thing we found were these alignment pins. That one's still sticking out a little bit because it's up against the side of the bank. These aren't meant to have 4 alignment pins in them. They're meant to have 2. And so we think that it had a misalignment issue because it had pins in the motor and pins in the trans, and trying to push 4 pins into the space of 2 pins. So we kind of think that was causing a misalignment between the engine and the trans that was keeping it from turning when the clutch was engaged. And then found out that it was out of time by, here's the timing mark, the timing mark, the timing mark. With the camshafts lined up, it was timed down here somewhere, which seems to have bent the valves. That little. So it's out of time. Had the alignment pins between the engine and transmission installed incorrectly. The throttle body was a good one. You should actually go back and watch the VOD from the other day. I may make a highlight reel of the last couple of. Well, I guess I have all of this project in my VODs yet. So I may go back. I may go back this evening or this weekend and make a highlight reel of the of this project so far, this calamity so far. But the throttle body was sealed to the intake with a very liberal helping of silicone RTV. So much so in fact that it filled up this passage for the map sensor up to about there. So that was cool. And now that I, pins work. Hello, Nautical. How are you doing this evening? The pins were. I mean, it's been hilarious up until this point. Now I think, oh shit, it's got bent valves. So that pin right there is on the wrong side of the engine flange. It should be either out here or not present, because it would still be in the transmission. And it's not either of those because there's still a pin in the transmission. And the pin on this one's still sticking out because it hit the side of the cylinder bank right back there. And as a consequence, broke the ear off where the pin goes in the transmission. The throttle body had me in stitches the other night. So clearly what happened was this motor had both of the pins in it from the yard, and when the guy pulled the old motor out of the car, both of the pins stayed in the transmission, and everything got fucked up. And the clutch isn't in great shape anyway. Well, I'm going to tear this apart and put it on the engine stand. It's going to be not fun otherwise. Of course, what did I do before I started this job, cleaning up the shop? Yeah, put the friggin' old Ford Ranger motor on the engine stand to get it off the floor. Actually, to get it off of the crane. Yeah, that throttle was classic. This way. All right. And I didn't. There's nothing else immediately obvious on any of these castings, and suspension. Aluminum suspension parts, in my experience, will bend. They'll also just sort of break. But I think, given how that busted off, and I don't see any cracking really in any of the other parts. Although I should probably clean that up a little bit and look closer. But I don't see anything obvious. I think probably that this would crack before it hopefully it didn't do anything where that pin is sitting up against the side of the block, but that may be difficult to extricate. That may have to just sit where it is. But this motor may be a lost cause anyway. So we'll just have to see where it goes from here. I got the owner coming over tomorrow anyway, so we'll talk to him. See what we find out tonight and talk to him then. Yeah. So you said valves are 10 or 15 a piece, Rotax. Is that for new Subaru parts or what? Or, I don't know if you looked that up or if you just know that off the top of your head. Stay. Where I can find them. Probably move this horse around. That's okay. I have a tractor. Doesn't everybody stack their lumber on a tractor? I know I do. That's what it's there for. Oops, that's a ceiling. Out of the way. Somewhere. Oh, yep, just hit yourself in the face, dude. Ouch. On the handlebar. Napa 4 years ago. Okay, fair enough. Maybe you won't have to move that too far since. What the fuck? Yep. Don't trip it over yourself, dude. Alright. Now I need enough room to move this over to that. Oh man. Yeah, you know, I really should have checked this more thoroughly when I found that it was so badly out of time, but I thought it had compression. I was wrong. It had valves hitting pistons. Turn stuff. Minimal losses. Probably should have moved that over a little bit. Too late now. We'll figure something else out. Fortunately, this crane folds after a fashion. Probably won't fall off.
Where's my tablet? So, yep. Yeah. Gonna have to figure something else out to set that motor on though. Yeah, fuck it. It's a spare, it can sit on its own self. I don't even have that truck anymore. Sven's probably not even in the chat because he owns that truck. Starting to tear a little bit, but still holding together pretty well. Fucker. You do that. That's fine. With this, I figured out. Take the whole frickin' base off. Yep, that's tearing. Time for another one. Such a pain to try
to get it lined up while it's hanging in the air. Take the pin out, slide the mounting face off. And get it on separately, and then just slide the, I can even just pick this up and slide it on and repin it and good to go. Those are 19s. It's only 830. Because that's not actually a threaded fitting. It's just like a hollow alignment pin that happens to be pretty close to whatever this thread size is. So it kind of goes in, but it's not really threaded for it, so it's not happy about it. I had a freaking motor hanging off of it. Unstable. Pretty sure I don't have anything else to land that on. Maybe that. Check back here. So I could dig some tires out of the shed, but that would kind of be a pain. You know what? You can have a box. It's probably better than nothing. That's certainly right. Its motor got taken over by, or its home got taken over by another motor that didn't have a head gasket leak. Talk about your long, drawn out. Come on, finish already. Go over there and put you out of my misery. Oh, that's the ladder. Oh, never mind. So, turns out, ladder, not a great place to store your motor. A ladder precariously on top of a tractor tire. Not a great place to store your 2x10s. Or maybe 2x8, but they're still heavy. That's the point I'm trying to make. Still creaking. Jeez. Alright, where were we? This thing is strapped up. Oh! Whew. I found a spice pellet from that pizza food I was eating earlier. Cheesy roast fish or something like that. Had something in it. Trouble may be that. Okay, that's long enough. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm still friends with the guy that has the truck that motor is a spare to, technically. So, can't get rid of it quite yet. Does that fit? No, maybe not. The threads are just bugged up. That doesn't feel great.
Nope, those are not the right thread. Two more longish bolts. That's interesting. Why is that stuck together like that? So maybe the RTV. Alright, where did I put the rest of the case bolts? Should be there they are. On the cowl. These ought to actually work. Shouldn't need to short anything else. Yeah, I should. Oh wait, dumbass! Ouch. I have to use bolts, maybe. I have those studs on the bottom. Durr. Oh man, have you never done this before? Noob. Suppose I set those nuts up here anywhere. Where are they down on glass? Let's This is why you put your parts you take off in little bins or something. Not around for the damn things. That might. It's only got 3, so maybe that is one of them. Yep, that's one. Probably the other one's on this side. He has to slide on the ground somewhere. Maybe, maybe not. And that's. I may have those new somewhere. I've gotten a bunch of stuff that I don't know where it is. This is all not metric. It's not helpful. One of these exhaust stud nuts works, then just use that for the time being. That'll do it. 13. Yep. Short 12.
Deep 14 millimeter. There it is. Correct bit for cam plates. What cam plates are those, Rotex? Is it like a, looks like torque bit isn't, but, bolts are stuck around now. So that's like Torx, right? If the bolts get stuck, it'll round out. It's not like that goofy pentalobe that's on the, were you here for that? The, idle air control motor on this Subaru's got pentalobe screws on it. Oh, Torx will work, but it'll round out if there's stuff. I gotcha. I was pulling the trying to pull this off the other day to get the map sensor off to clean it out, and he said, "Oh, those are just Torx." I'm like, no, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pentalobe. So you actually have to take the 2 bolts on the sort of valve body out. I guess that is kind of like Torx. I guess if you hammered one in there, it might work. But what's like Torx but not kind of, or kind of like Torx but not exactly? Security Torx, but that's just Torx with a pin in it. Like some stupid proprietary thing. I've seen some newer Torx bits that were like rounded instead of having the sharp edges. I don't know if it's just like a product improvement on the bits, or if there's actually a corresponding fastener that takes those as well. Loosen these all up a little bit so I can get it. Jeez. Still 17. Square-edged Torx, right? Cam cover. Huh. On a Subaru. Cam cover. Oh, you mean what, the plate here that actually holds the cam apart? Those guys? Is it that you're looking at? And one that's not. I got a bunch of like hex head Allen stuff, but these. So these. Oh, there's 3, 4 that are kind of a squared off. Yeah, you know what? I've seen bits that look like that. They're not the regular sharp edged sort of Torx. I have. Yeah, so it's not like these where the edges are kind of sharp. They are actually more. I think these aren't the new style that I've seen. Yeah, it's just a regular Torx. Yeah, I have seen some where these are less sharp and more rounded. Yeah, that sort of fits on a Torx. I don't know if those are the ones you're talking about or not. But I have I have seen. I can't think of what they're called. I don't think I've seen a name for them. I just seen them in one of the guys' boxes at work. Okay, yeah, they're I don't know if I'd call them squared exactly, but they're sort of more rounded, where the Torx has a, comes to more of a point. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly they're called, because I know they aren't real Torx, but like I said, they're kind of like it. Faller. Good deal. More the merrier. Hey Google, like Torx, but Turks? Different. Purely for my own edification, I know you said you found what they are, but list of screwdrives. Torx, security Torx. Polydrive? Also known as RIBE. Sort of spline shaped. That polydrive guy, it seems like it should be about right. Yeah, it could be. Wouldn't surprise me anyway. Sort of level. Almost level, but not quite. Sorry about that. It's even loud for me. Shit out of my pockets. Just so happens I have a 14 millimeter 12 point that has only touched Subaru head bolts. May it forever only touch Subaru head bolts. Amen and shit. Next question. Universal joints. That's nice. Do I have a 1/2 to 3/4 adapter? Should. I know where it is. Kind of get the feeling that I've used it recently. Of course, doesn't matter that it would have been put back to where it actually lives. Of course. Clico. Torx Plus. Huh. Okay. So that's a thing, I guess. Well. Air tool drawer with air tool oil spilled everywhere that I really ought to clean out one of these days. I don't use air tools that much here. Would have been somewhere, would have been in that. It would have been put away, would have been put away, it should have been in there. Let's say not present. Somewhere, but not here. I can deal. Yeah, a half drive probably would have been a little better considering how friggin' tight these things get. This one's only 3/8, unfortunately. Keep meaning to get a 3/8 breaker bar. Never seem to think about it when I have spending money. I know I own a 1/2 to 3/8 adapter. Oh well. Should maybe let this down the rest of the way. It's on the stand. Actually stable-ish. Mostly. As long as it's out of the way. Of course, now I gotta take the intake off. Ah, bastard. Alright. Better and better. Yeah, that's why I was looking around for my adapter, but I can't find. Who knows where it is? So, can't take that quite off. But that's all right. There's, reasonable odds I won't even get to it tonight. What time is it? 9 o'clock. I might get to it. Now that I gotta take this stinking intake off. Much of this fuel rail nonsense I have to take off. Where's my long extension? It is. Maybe turn the camera, you dumbass. I'll figure this out yet, one of these days. That just means I gotta either find or acquire my half-drive adapter. Well, I think that the one I have is kind of a chintzy one that came with a set of a bunch of other chintzy crap, so might not even be a bad idea just to get just pick up a halfway decent one. Or, I could go and find an actual half-drive 14mm 12-point. That would solve that problem right quick. Let me find a box to keep these bolts in. Close enough. Well, remember to take off the knock sensor. So I won't destroy that this time. Now I get to forget something else that's no doubt still attached to the block and in the way. What size is that? Hey, got it in one. I did have a plan for this EGR pipe. It's not a piece of rubber and a zip tie, but that may, depending on what we find out here and what I end up talking with the customer about tomorrow. That may customer, jeez, the owner, my neighbor. Good way to introduce yourself, there, dude. May not matter, but what I was gonna do with this, because I couldn't come up with just a plug easily, and since it's a flare fitting, I was just gonna cut the tube off, pinch it, and lay some weld up in there to make a seal, and then just put the pipe back. Like I said, that may not matter. He was okay with $1,000 or less. I tell him that I made a mistake. It's worse than that. Let's see what he says. At least I don't have it back together yet. I do wish I had checked this before, though. Let's okay, so there's a sensor here. There's something there. That's a coolant temp sensor. And that bracket right there. Is that a 12? Yes, it is. Got that off. Actually, that didn't hardly took any time at all. So, yeah, I may well get to there. Time being. Oh wow, there's a lot of nuts and stuff here. Battery there. Oh, yeah. See a little. Let me get some more light here. See a little shiny speck on the right hand side there, down in the port. That's right on the edge of the valve. It's like a chip or something. Goody. Do a little LED on. Yeah. Alright, well, I'll take this head off and see what we see. At least we'll try to take this head off. See if it cooperates. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to make some noise, so headphone users, fair warning, cover up your ear balls.
and return to normalcy. It was kind of nuts. This whole thing is nuts. Alright, I'm gonna make one more desperate vain attempt to find that adapter. And then I'm gonna see if I can break my 3/8 round. Yep, I'm stumped. I can remember where I had that last. See me doing that. I have a 3/8 to half, but not a half to 3/8. Brilliant, dude. Frickin' brilliant. Alright, well, let's see if I can't break this puppy. Oh, you guys. Put that on my to-buy list. The only problem with this plan, if I do break this, we don't have a Matco man. I may be a little bit SOL. I don't know if you can send these back to the factory or what.
started to move. Jeez, now I just got to keep the whole motor from moving. Ouch. I feel like those cheater bars are a little too long. Where did I put my hacksaw? But, as fortune would have it, I still have a whole bunch of conduit left over from when I had the electric upgraded at my house. So I'm going to make a shortish one. Right, so like I was saying, a shorter cheater bar. No. This one, still warm. Oh, jeez, that sucks. Yeah, we have a snap-on guy that's pretty well established. There we go. Fuck's sakes. Bolt hype. We did have, I think I see a Matco van driving around from time to time, but he doesn't stop at our shop anymore. We've been such an established Snap-on customer that we had a few years back, Matco guy stopping by every week for a couple of months, and a couple of guys had some real old hardware that they still had lying around here, a couple of broken wrenches. And he said, "Oh yeah, I can get those replaced for you." And he'd come around and try and sell you on the latest greatest. And I don't think he made a single sale while he was coming around to the shop. So he stopped coming around. think there's a Mack truck, Mack tool dealer truck that I see from time to time, but he doesn't stop at their shop either. Just the right length for hitting people with this one. Be working on the Jeep tonight. Or tomorrow night, or night after that. That didn't go too badly, I don't think. Too badly is starting to become a relative thing around here. Hit the bolt. Man, I don't know what kind of sealer they put on these things when they put them together, but sure does have a distinctive smell. I don't know if it's sealer or assembly lube or what, but pop these case bolts out, or these head bolts out. Whoo-wee! A unique and distinctive odor. Leave that one in so it doesn't fall right off, but well, it's starting to. Really ought to pick up one of these flex head, or a couple of these flex head type ratchets for work. That's going to be a mix. Comes out. Got the timing cover. Well, hold the glove again. Toward the glove again. The glove on the left side, holding up pretty well. Glove on my right hand, not so much. Probably holding up better than my regular ones do, though. Yeah, it's one more thing, Dan, that I have at work that I don't have here. Although, while we're on the topic, what brand of cordless impact do you have? There we go. Doinky doinky. Got a lot of good those cutouts in the piston did. Find a place to sit this. It's raining again. Ooh. There's a big old crust of something right there on the edge of the cylinder. Okay. Yeah, I've got one of the older 12-volt DeWalt. Works relatively well. There's a lot of carbon caked up there. Head gasket's still intact, so you got that going for you, I guess. Criminy. Okay, don't do that. Without your squints on, anyway. Interesting. These must be just down to placement, as it doesn't look like the intake valves actually hit. Let me pick the camera up and brings you in. Boom, dispatch. I like the, we have a bunch of the, like I said, the 12 volt DeWalt stuff, and their little LED light. It's got the swivel head and a belt clip and a magnet on the back. I really like those. So I guess looks like it only hit the exhaust valves, as there's just a little divot right there, and just little divots right there, but it's pretty well undisturbed up on top. We may only get out of this with you know, 2, 4, 8 valves instead of 16, if he decides to go about it. I have to talk to the guy. We're bringing up to our assholes in this now. Oh, that smells good. Hello, Ryan Hawkins. It is something like that. Whew. Probably shouldn't be spraying that quite so close to my kerosene heater, but hey, you know the drill. If there's a flash of light and the channel goes dark, it's either World War III or I've blown myself up. So that's... That's the timing mark right there. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, this might be, it's still a little bit more than I wanted to do, but it might not be quite so pooched as we originally thought. Twitch fails 2016. What's that? Oh, you mean, if I blew myself up spraying flammable things around the kerosene heater? Yeah, it's a little bit of a fail, you could call it that. I'm gonna clean off my workbench here really quick. Gonna have to use your head. Oh, that shit was probably important. It's gone now. Too late for now. Let me actually put my torque wrench away, so I know where the hell that is. Criminy. Whoops. Remember to bring the battery pack along. Bonk. There he was, just hanging out, streaming, and all of a sudden, boom! Gonskis. I should probably turn this down a smidge. Almost out of fuel on that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Snow. And oh yeah, I know. I upload most of my VODs to YouTube since I only get saved for 2 weeks otherwise. Or do you mean specifically of people doing stupid things on Twitch? I could believe both of those. So, There is a lot of carbon and shit built up in these. Size is that gonna be? Not one I have to hand. Alright. Time to get some head. Hew, hew, hew. I just got another email. What time is 9:30? That's fine. That's okay. Don't need to be watching that twice. I just want to see. Bird. Thanks, Vortex. I was actually thinking about doing sort of like a highlight reel on this thing, which I may still do. It may not be exactly what I anticipated, but it's mostly just yeah, I think you're right. I think those are definitely bent. And it's mostly just VODs at the moment, for what they're worth without the chat and all. A little closer. But, I may put together some purpose-built YouTube stuff at some point. Actually thinking about setting up a Facebook page or something where I can upload pictures. So yeah, that should be everything closed, because there's the intakes opening on that one, and there's those openings, so they should be closed there, and they pretty clearly are not. So I think Rotax called it. These are definitely got bent. Let's see. It's everybody's favorite source of cheap auto parts on the web, Rick Auto. No, that's wrong. Rock Auto. Rick Auto. Rick Auto should be a thing. It was open. Blah, blah. Yep. Those are pooched. Intakes are fine. Exhaust valves are pooched. Yeah, it's screwed. Well, and truly. Let's see. Engine. Valve cover gasket, valve cover grommet, valve guide, valve stem seal. Intake valve, exhaust valve. Engine tech. 0.2346 inch stem, 1.236 inch head. Stem diameter. Great, I gotta buy more tools. Oh, lordy. Yeah. You weren't too far off the mark though. $6.53 a piece for exhaust valves. Just for shits. Not that I actually need them. Yeah, $5.82. I'll need a head gasket kit. Thank you, eBay. It's like everything. Shaft, cylinder head. There we go. Head gasket set. Wasn't expecting it to say cylinder head gasket set. Head gasket only. Head set. And which I'm gonna want because that's got all the. I already have exhaust gaskets. Decks. Those aren't too bad. Felpro 100.5. And bolts. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, when I did the heads on my sister's car, I sent them out to have the valves professionally done, but that was, oh geez, that was like $400 or $500 for the pair. So yeah, maybe just I gotta talk to the guy tomorrow. I'm gonna say, found more problems. It's only half the valves, fortunately. Are they? I can't. Aren't they torque to yield? I have to dig out a service manual online. I found one I thought was for this, but came up with a 2.2, which this is not. But, yeah, I guess in the interest of keeping it cheap, they certainly don't look stretched or anything. At least this one doesn't. I have some. When I did my sister's car, I ended up with a bunch of parts back from the machine shop that he didn't use. See what's in these boxes here. Oh, I know it's not exactly the same motor, and it's still a. Fair enough. Can't throttle body gasket. Ta-da! Is that so hard? Great. I already ordered one of those. Fuck me. Hey, if the Subi dealer says they're good, then who am I to argue? Aluminum bolts. Ugh. Yeah, that. I don't know. That would scare me. This one looks pretty clean. This one might be a little suspect. Not sure if that's pitting or do that over the head, even though I'm going to end up cleaning it probably. Or just some gunk caked onto it. Only just gunk. Doesn't look too bad. Little bit of dirt up there under the head. They say they got real serious about saving weight on those forged, didn't they? That looks pretty good. Another nice clean one. I think I may have looked at one of these already, but yeah. Alright, hey, yeah, that'll save like $40–50 reusing those. Let's see what else I got in the bag here. I got, fuck that is. Some kind of gasket job. Some more intake gaskets or something. I'm not sure what those are for. EGR gaskets, which are not applicable. Oh, hey, the timing spacer jobby. Some of whatever these are. Clearly the guy didn't use, because they're still sealed in the bag. I wonder if these are I wonder what these are. Some kind of bunch of seals and O-rings. Didn't need them out of the kit. And the other little box. Sent back another little box of oh yeah, he pulled the cam seals and the seal covers and the old spark plugs, and then the valve seals. So a head gasket kit would come with all that shit. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. Oh well. Gotta be done. No way around it. On the bright side, I haven't taken any money from him yet. Which is what he was coming over tomorrow to do, deliver half of what I said it was going to be. So the worst that he can be is disappointed. And then we can go from there. Can either throw some more at it and fix it or not. At least we know, I guess on the bright side, no way this motor is going to run right, even if I did get it back in time and all that. Bent exhaust valves. I am hesitant to offer a definitive positive diagnosis on the original motor, being as that I, never had the opportunity to see it. But what the owner told me was that he ran it low on oil, and I would assume spun a bearing or something, and locked up the motor that way. And then this some dude offered to I'm not quite sure if it was his buddy or not, or just some guy, but Yeah, supposedly operated with basically oil starvation, and locked it up, and picked the wrong guy to put a motor in it for him. Although in defense of some dude, like we were saying earlier, this yard motor may have been pooched from the get-go. Certainly was pooched after some dude got it in. Could do that too. Like I said, I know that the owner told me that he ran it out of oil and blew the motor up. But like I said, without seeing it in person, I cannot give a definitive diagnosis. I mean, you run it out of oil, it's going to be only one of a couple of things. You're gonna screw one or the other of some of the bearings. So, that's that. All right. Well, hey, why don't we? Why don't we end on a lighter note? So to speak. And nothing more I can do with this one tonight. Even if he decides to throw a couple of $100 at it and fix it, it's not getting done this weekend. So before I sign off tonight, which I'm going to do shortly because I haven't had my ice cream yet tonight, and I got to have my ice cream. But, let's go over here to the 151 and do what I originally wanted to do and see if I can't diagnose the speedometer cable issue. Yeah, I'll either order one if it's not super expensive, or I'm pretty sure one of the guys at work has some, and I'm sure I can borrow one for an evening. But yeah, it was good of it's nice of you to mention that and to identify what that is. So if anybody wasn't here the other night or is entirely new, as I was saying, if anybody wasn't here the other night for the after action report from trying to go to Cars and Coffee on last Saturday. So yeah, if you're totally new, this is my vintage project, the 77 AM General M151A2. So I was having brake problems that are still not fixed. In fact, I slid for a couple of 100 feet on one or the other of these tires, downhill towards a changing stoplight on the way back. I never actually went into the Cars and Coffee. I just kind of got there late and got there. I don't feel like jostling with the crowds. Turned around, came back. Brakes are still a problem. They're still locking up on the right hand side. So I've got some. Actually, just got wheel cylinders today, and I'm gonna order some hoses for that and start redoing the brake stuff. The heater over there, that was last week's project, worked really well, actually. Hey, I remembered to turn the ignition off. Yeah, with all the fabric on this, and once it gets warmed up and the heater running, that actually kept it pretty comfortable inside. I actually had to turn it down a little bit as the morning wore on. Of course, I managed to not get the driver's door popped. This front bead on the door skin popped out of the channel on the body somehow, or just didn't get lined up when I put the door on. So it was kind of it's a little drafty in here. Then the extension tab that I welded onto the door worked swimmingly. So I'm probably going to do one of those on the other side, just for the sake of preventive maintenance. But then about halfway up to the venue on Saturday, I looked down, and who's Red Queen Rotax? Don't believe I understand your reference. But, yeah, so about halfway down, I'm driving along, trucking along, and look down, and speedometer note. Yep, yeah, I reckon that's the problem. Jesus, I'm gonna have to find a different way to route that. That's no bueno. Got about halfway there, and hey, the speedometer's not working. Yeah, that one was. There's like nowhere good to watch this. Let me stick it on the windshield here, and you'll just have to be upside down. Yeah, speedometer still works, but this was kicked over like that. Kind of wonder if that cable's not pooched somewhere. Can sort of turn it. But, yeah, oh, you dumb son of a bitch. Want to take a guess at what I just found? You moron. Yep. There's a hole for the speedometer cable. What did my ass do? Stream on Twitch and Discord. Humvees. Or, like 5-tonners or something. Yeah, speedometer cable hooks up to the trans over here somewhere. I think this part of the hump is actually for the starter. I think the speedo cable is down here somewhere. I did have it routed back up here and out through one of the holes that the heater hose has to go through, and back up. And obviously, putting the heater in, I couldn't put it there. I found some holes over on this side of the dash that came through the trans tunnel right here, and I said, well, that's a little bit of a sharp curve, but we'll see what it does. And yeah, I think I'm gonna need to buy another speedometer cable. So is she like a automotive streamer, or just a general gaming streamer, or what? I will admit to being perhaps not super clued into who's who in the I am but a lowly noob, having only been streaming here for a couple of months. And I don't think I've ever been on the Discord. annoying thing about this is, though, that gotta freaking take the transmission cover off to get at it. And scratch my paint. Everybody knows everybody but me. Oh well. I shouldn't have to get it all. These are going to be heads. Yep. Gonna grab an extension real quick. As soon as I get some hoses ordered for this thing, and God, the acoustics in here must be incredible. As I get hoses ordered for this, and assuming they ever sell that acclaim and actually get paid for that Subaru job. Actually get that Subaru job done and out of there, and do a whole lot of brake work on this turkey. See if we can't get her to stop in a straight line. Huh. Gun sim. So do you think somebody could take apart a Mosin on Creative, or do you think Twitch would frown at that? I assume GunSim is some sort of a simulator program. Sort of considered doing some, once I got established a little bit, maybe doing some gunsmithing on the stream, but Twitch TOS is ambiguous to say, or I guess ambiguous is a good word, vague, and whether that might actually be allowed. 14 FPS. The stream still, it looks like it's running alright. How's my battery then? Battery's on, that's good. I'm plugging my tablet so that doesn't die. That went somewhere. Beam another streaming service. I imagine I haven't watched I haven't looked at the YouTube TOS for their live thing, and I would think that YouTube might be a little fairly ambivalent as to what you did on one of their live streams, so long as you weren't actually killing people or something. But yeah, the Twitch guidelines are not clear. Oh, you can't do anything with firearms or weapons because of self-harm, but then you can do like knife making and metalworking and shit on creatives. It's like, well, okay, so suppose I'm not doing any self-harm, or I'm put the 4 rules up before the stream and after the stream and 3 times in the middle of the stream. Look up what Beam is. Yeah, and I've got some odds and ends gunsmithing I could do, even if it's just like taking stuff apart and cleaning it, which I'm pretty behind on cleaning a lot of my stuff. Beam. Interactive live streaming. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the Twitch guidelines are pretty vague as to whether you'd be able to do anything like that or not. And, it's not like this is my livelihood or anything, but I am enjoying streaming stuff like this. So I wouldn't want to get myself band hammered or anything. Something silly, but yeah, maybe another service if they're more amenable to it. I need to get my my armory finished and get all my benches put up and my reloading stuff back together. That would be a pretty neat way to do like a chill stream or something. Just sit there and run the reloading press, hang out and talk, or like I said, take all my stuff out of the closet and field strip it and clean it. I could certainly do that. Hell, I run off of a cell phone. I can stream damn near anywhere, doing damn near anything. Yeah, I'll think about that. I'll look into this Beam thing. There's the one thing that I was thinking that maybe like field stripping and cleaning and stuff like that might not be a big deal, but I've got a bunch of. So I'm not quite set up to at the moment, but I've got a bunch of 80% receivers that I'd like to work on at some point. Like 3 AR 80% receivers and a sort of Glock clone pistol 80% frame. I'd like to work on at some point. And I was, think that would be an interesting thing to stream. Finishing up one of those and building it up on a stream. But yeah, I think that might be straining the terms of service just a smidgen. We'll see. Not like it's going to happen tomorrow evening or something. We'll be back. I might not be able to get that all the way out with the seats in. Oh well. So, yep. There's your parking brake right there, and there's speedometer cable. Just, turn that off there. Pop that out. Go back around the other side. So I got it in this. Ouch. On this side of the trans tunnel. And I could have just run it straight up the center. Ooh. Not sure if that's a retaining clip or if that's something what got chunked. Right side. I can get cables. I can get I actually get speedometer gear repair kits. I don't think I should need that. Back to the head. Put this back in its box. Homeless head living in a box. Yeah, you know what? These gloves are growing on me. I managed to kill a couple of them, but these are actually not too bad. Yeah, that was definitely an error on my part. Oh, hey, yep. She is gonna chooch no more. There's your problem. Well. Whoa. Yeah, it was, that's not a retaining device. That is, in fact, the cable coming apart. So. This thing loves to focus and refocus. So yeah, that's why you don't run a speedometer cable at a 90-degree angle right at the fitting. Probably not anywhere generally, but especially not right at the fitting, because it'll break, and then you don't know how fast you're going. And I mean, the truck only does 60 miles an hour, but still. Get pulled over, and the guy says, "You know how fast you're going?" I said, "Nope. Not a blessed clue. Speedometer quit working halfway here." Smells interesting. Yep. Yeah, when you're kind of sitting like that, yeah, don't like it too much. Fortunately, these aren't too expensive, so. All right. Wah wah. Man, these gloves are still holding up. I may actually have to get a case of these. These are, it's pretty nice. For the occasional tears around my thumb there, but yeah, otherwise, not bad. Alright. Well, that was longer than I originally anticipated being out here. So, I'm gonna have to check the new one and see if it has one of these little brass collars at the other end as well. I may have to fish something out of the speedometer gear if it does. So, there is not a similar one on that end. All right. Right, well, I think that's going to be it for me tonight. I gotta clean up and go to work in the morning. So, I will, I'll look into some of those alternative streaming services. See if their terms of service are possibly any more amenable than Twitch's appear to be. Although, maybe if I'm just doing like field stripping and cleaning and stuff like that, it might not be a huge deal on Twitch even, but I'll see how it goes. I'd certainly, I mean, let's put it this way, as much as streaming this stuff has given me a motivation to come out here and work on this stuff, I have a whole closet full of old rifles that need cleaning. I haven't touched in forever. Yeah, flow of traffic. I was just going to the flow of traffic, and it couldn't have possibly been. Well, in that thing, I could just say, well, I certainly wasn't going faster than 60 miles an hour. She won't do more than that. Yeah. So I'd certainly be amenable to doing a little gunsmithing on the stream. As we get to that point, as we get done with this project. Oh man, have to see what he wants to do, and well, once we figure that out, I'll have more to stream maybe. Yeah, I'll check that out, Rotax. And see what's what. So I'll move my bike out of the way of the torpedo heater in case that kicks on overnight. Yeah, that's kind of why I'd be hesitant to do streaming different things on different platforms is if I've established myself on Twitch, sort of a little bit, I guess, not like huge major or anything, but 2 months, cool people here. I don't want to if it's feasible to sort of keep everything under one roof, and my hands aren't in frame, under one roof, You know, I'd kind of want to do that more than, well, I stream automotive on Twitch, and I stream, you know, I clean my guns and I reload on this place, and I do this on YouTube or not. But I break the rules and get punted off Twitch, it's not the end of the world. DeFreeze! How are you doing this evening? You're just in time for the end. I'm afraid to say. We're just about done here, unfortunately. Oh, that's probably the nut I was looking for earlier. Jeez. Yeah, I've been out here since about 7 o'clock local. It's almost 10:30 now. What the hell's going on in here? I'm shutting down. Ready to go to bed. I do not have a Twitter, or that is to say, no, I don't really have a Twitter. I think I did at one point and didn't do anything with it, and just got. That is a Jeep of sorts. That's an M151A2. But about as military, you know, authentically military Jeep as you can get. This, that's the Outback. The source of the current consternation. So, I guess I can. I don't know. Have you been around at all this week, DeFreeze, or is this the first of the streams this week you've been out for? I don't remember you being out. Yeah, it's pulled out. It had to be. It had problems. Yeah, this was the no start that you couldn't turn the motor over when the clutch was engaged. Okay, so you probably haven't seen this at all. This is not my Outback, by the way. Mine's a 6-cylinder and it runs fine. This is so I'll do a quick recap for those of you who are just joining. You got here right at the end. Like I said, I'm getting ready to shut down here. So this is my neighbor's car. It's been sidelined for about almost a year and a half now. He had run the original motor out of oil and blew it up somehow. I never got to see that. Then he had a guy put a junkyard motor in it, and it came to pass that it never got done, and it never got done, and it never got done, and then he skipped town. The some dude who was doing the work, not the neighbor. Neighbor's still up the street. But so it came to me as a no start, essentially. And when I was looking it over, found that, you know, not only would it not start, it would also, when you turned the engine over by hand, if the clutch was engaged, even if the gearbox was neutraled out, if the clutch was engaged, you could only move the crank by hand about 100 degrees one way or the other before it would lock up tight and not move. If you disengaged the clutch, it would turn over what appeared to be freely, hitting a compression stroke each time and whatnot. As we got further and further into it, the first thing that we found was that these have 2 alignment pins that line up the engine and transmission. And typically when you pull, it should be noted, by the way, that this is the car is a 5-speed. This motor came out of an automatic transmission car, so it's had things swapped around to make it match the car. But anyway, so the first thing we found, we'll need to pull the motor at least to see what's going on in the bell housing, and sort of go from there as to it being locked up and the no start and what have you. So the first thing we found out when we got the motor out was this alignment pin is pushed all the way through the flange right there, and it only stopped because it's sitting on the back of the cylinder bank right there. The pin on this side was pushed all the way through because the cylinder banks are offset, so there's more room on this side, and this was pushed almost entirely out of the block. You'll notice that I am nowhere near Colorado. And $1,200 is way out of the budget. We had a budget of $1,000, and I was at $800 before I found that the valves were bent. Anyway, to continue. Hey, what? So, as it happens, so there's another pin in the transmission that's been pushed halfway back. As it happens, when the original motor was pulled out of this, both of the pins stayed in the transmission, and the motor that came from the junkyard still had both of the pins in it. And the some dude, as I've taken to calling him because I don't know who the hell he is, put it together, lined the clutch up, and just cranked the case bolts home until it stopped moving. And he actually broke part of the casting on the transmission right there where the pin was supposed to go in, because as you saw on that side, the driver's side, the pin stopped before it got all the way through. So it just popped it right off the casting. So I believe that those pins not being correct were causing a misalignment between the engine and the trans, and when the clutch was engaged, it would, turn a certain amount and then bind. So we found that, and yep, pretty much wasn't aligned correctly because it had too many pins in it. So the next thing that we noticed was, and actually I'd seen this before, and I have it pretty much all cleaned up now. But when I was originally looking at it, I noticed that there was gray silicone seeping out between the throttle body and the intake, and if I opened up the throttle plate and looked down the bore, there was big globs of silicone all around the inside of the throttle body. I think there's still a little bit of silicone on here, but yeah, sort of like blobs like right there, only about 5 times that size. And all the way around here it had squished out, squoze out, whatever, pushed out. So some dude had apparently tried to reseal the throttle body onto the intake because you had to. The intakes are different because the manual transmission cars have or do not have EGR and the automatics do. So you have to change the intake over. And he just gacked it up with RTV, and in some of these little cavities down here, there's actually still uncured RTV. But the major issue, aside from it, pushing out into the actual bore, was this little channel right here for the manifold pressure sensor sits up here and has a little port through that casting and comes out right here. This was entirely full of silicone RTV up to maybe half to 2/3 of the way up that port. So we found that and had some giggles about that. Cleared that up, that's fine. And then got to looking at this, and it turned out that it was out of time to the tune of about 100 degrees or so. So when the camshafts were lined up with their timing notches, and imagine that there's a camshaft here, the timing mark on the crank pulley, which should be there, times right there, times right there, times vertically essentially. When the cams were vertical in their spots, the timing mark on the crank would be down here somewhere. So way out of time. And it kind of looked like the tensioner might start be leaking. So we're gonna put another one of those in. And I was thinking about it, and the throttle body gasket, yeah, it should have been a gasket. Oh yeah, that's right. One of the flywheel bolts was missing too. There's supposed to be 8, and it came out with 7, and one of the holes is actually a little boogered up. So I've got a tap coming for that if this gets finished. And the EGR pipe was a good one too. As how I said that the manual transmission cars don't have EGR, so that intake doesn't have an EGR port on it. But this one does. Some dude left the EGR pipe attached to the head and sealed the intake end with a piece of rubber and a zip tie, which I think we can all imagine exactly how long that would have lasted. So it was out of time, and I said, well, maybe we can get away with it. I'll get a new tensioner. I'll retime the engine. Not a big deal. We'll be okay. We'll manage this. And I was thinking about it at work today, and I said, you know what? That's off a really long way. And it occurred to me that I have a little, $15 Chinese USB borescope. I've not actually had to use that for a diagnostic purpose yet. That would be kind of cool. And there's just a USB cable with a camera on the end attached to a stick, because I couldn't get it in the hole. I'll come out tonight, and of course I've already talked to the owner yesterday and gotten permission to do the other work. I'll come out and look at this, and so tied my wiggly camera to a stick and dropped it down the spark plug hole and said, oh shit, those look like valve hits. Yeah. Oh shit, those look like valve hits, and that one too. Great. So once we got that taken care of, I spent the rest of the evening pulling the intake and pop this head off. Wander over to the bench here. There's a speedometer cable out of my my Jeep. Turns out I had it routed pretty much as incorrectly as you can get. And so in this position, all the valves should be closed. Yep. And intake valves are pretty much untouched. You can just see it on that one. You can't really see it on that one, but you can see on those pretty well. They getting a little smoochy with the pistons. So that's a problem. One of these had I may have been seeing light down it, but let me grab a light here. Yeah, so now we got. Whoops. And there's yeah, whoops, there's light down there. So yeah, that one just kept getting better and better. Hey, see you, Spectre. Will do. So that's where we're at. Just keeps getting higher and deeper. I'm expecting the owner to come by tomorrow, and I'll have to talk to him about what I found now and see what we want to do. At the moment, he's not out anything yet, more than he was for some dude. So, he may still want to fix it. I don't know. I'll have to. Fortunately, it only hit the exhaust valves. Yeah, and that's I kind of knew that this project was going to be fixing somebody else's fuck up, but didn't quite anticipate it was going to be quite this bad. But yeah, with the head off, you can kind of see that the exhaust valves are situated a little closer to the outside diameter of the cylinder than the exhaust valve or than the intakes are. So it kind of makes sense that it would hit the I guess maybe unless it was 180, totally 180 degrees at a time, that it would only hit the exhaust valve. So fortunately, it'll only need 8 valves at $650 a piece. Do not know, Real Cookie. You'd possibly have to ask them. Yeah, that's doink pretty good, and I don't even have the other side off yet, but I suspect it's just as bad. Lost some vegetation and stuff down there when I was vacuuming it. I'll have to hose that out. Yeah, unfortunately, some dude skipped town. We don't know where he is. So he offered to do it, to swap the motor in for $1,000, and got the old one pulled out, got this one slung in, and then would come over to work. And then maybe he was, got it in and was struggling with the no start problem. I don't know, but I have to epoxy that back together with the captive nut. But maybe he got it in and it was already like this, and it's not all his fault. Maybe it's only 2/3 his fault. Maybe the engine was blown up when he got it and he didn't know to check that, or who knows. But yeah, $600 for the motor and $400 for labor, which, going by, if it had been a simple, pull the old motor, put a new motor in, you know, the time that I had in pulling this on Sunday, that's interesting. I'm going to have to figure out what that goes to. What you are. At any rate, so the time that I had in this on Sunday at, was it like 4.5 hours, I had this, granted, he had like, the upper radiator hose off and some of the, air boxes and some of the other accoutrements off, but basically I was undoing everything that he had put together and taking it out, and I got that out in, is it PCV? Yeah, you know what, you're probably right. So that's probably broken off of the, yep, that's probably broken off on the intake somewhere. I'll have to find that. Ah, bastard. Yep, right there. Yeah, so I'll have to get that hose. Okay. I'll figure it out eventually. At least I remember to take the knock sensor out. Because when I did my sister's car, pulled the wire right out of the connector, popping the intake off. But no, it was $600 for the motor, $400 in labor, and for the time that I had in it on Saturday or on Sunday, at say $40 an hour, which is what I was going to charge for my labor, because that's reasonable. That's half the shop rate. Where I work. Yeah, that's reasonable for a side job, I think. I would have been about halfway there on. I would have been a little over 200, just to sling the motor out like I did on Sunday. So 400's a little light, maybe labor wise, but yeah, no. When you cock it up this badly and then stop answering your phone, and then skip town. My neighbor said, yeah, I went out to his house, and they said, oh yeah, he doesn't live here anymore. So we don't know where some dude is. Maybe on the turbo cars more than the NA cars, Rotax, because I've had not recently. It's been, geez, I think I was in the apartment at that point. Was I in the apartment, or was I at home yet? At any rate, it's been at least 7 or 8 years since I had to put a knock sensor on my car, and it hadn't gone bad since. But I don't remember making it gutless. I just remember it. Driving to work one morning and the check engine light came on. I scanned it at work and said, "Oh, it's a knock sensor." Oh, okay. I was still living at home, so it's been like 10 years. I don't remember it. I don't remember it misbehaving really, but maybe that's like a 2.2 thing, and the 2.5s and the turbo motors are different. But, yeah, when I was doing my sister's car, I knew I had to take the heads off, so before I pulled the motor out of the car, I pulled the intake off, and forgot about the knock sensor, and I yanked that wire right out of the connector. There's like hardly anything left to work with. Or was it? No, it was this side of the connector. Yeah, it would have had to have a connector. Yeah, I just left me enough room to fix to put a wire splice in. But yeah, so that's where we are. Bent valves. Bent valves and too much RTV, and some dude skipped town because he couldn't fix it. Here I am tying up my garage for going on almost a week. Oh well. It's not like it's getting cold or anything, and I want my cars to be not frozen in the morning. Ugh. Alright. So there's your recap. That's what's been going on over here in the AWD Smith garage. So that seems to be how people want to say that. Which is fine, I don't care. Said, call me anything you like, just so long as you don't call me late for dinner. You want to spell it out? That's just fine. Alright. So. One way or another, probably be doing something this weekend. I don't know. Don't know what yet. I'll talk to the guy and see what he wants to do. Negotiate. Yeah, that's it for tonight. Shut it down. Whoa, that scrolled up a ways. See you, Rotex. I might try and pop into Demon Stream tomorrow lunchtime. Hang out a little bit. Meantime, I am Dunsky. Whoops, I'm tripping over shit. I'm gonna leave those on. That's by the door. See you, DeFreeze. Thanks for stopping in. Looks like that delay's gotten longer. Oh well. Stream over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.